Napansin mo ba na parang ang bilis maubos ng allowance mo? Ni hindi mo alam kung saan napunta. O baka naman gusto mo mag-ipon pero hindi mo alam kung paano magsisimula. Well, don't worry, I got you. Welcome to Peng Podcast, ang ultimate tambayan ng gastador at gastadora, where we talk about money, smart spending, and financial success. This is Peng, your beautiful host, and today's episode we talk about financial literacy. What is it and why it is important and how it can help you make better money decisions. Handling money isn't just about saving, it's about making smart choice that will secure your future. So if you're ready to take control of your finances and build better habits, let's get started. Bakit nga ba kinakailangan nating maging financially literate? Ikaw ba? Masasabi mo bang financially literate ka na? To answer those questions, let's first define what is financial literacy. According to the National Endowment for Financial Education, financial literacy is the ability to read, analyze, manage, and communicate about the personal financial conditions that affect material well-being. In simpler terms, it is the knowledge and skills needed to make sound financial decisions that lead to the long-term financial security. It includes understanding concepts like budgeting, saving, investing, and debt management. Kapag hindi natin pinag-aralan or hindi natin binigyan ng pansin ang financial literacy, hindi tayo makakaalis sa overspending, utang, at stress sa pera. At the start, we need to understand basic financial terms. So, hindi mo kailangan maging financial expert agad-agad. Dahan-dahanin mo lang basta consistent ka. What are the benefits of financial literacy? And why we should care about financial literacy? Alam mo yung feeling na ang dami mong gustong bilhin pero kulang lagi ang pera mo? O yung moments na sakto lang ang allowance mo at sweldo mo para sa bills at pagkain? Tapos, wala ka pang ipon. Maraming tao nakaka-relate dyan, and the biggest reason behind it, kulang tayo sa financial literacy. Hindi lang ito tungkol sa paghawak ng pera but to live a financially balanced and sustainable life. Kapag financially literate ka, hindi ka basta-basta nababaon sa utang. Hindi ka lagi kinakabahan sa gastusin at mas alam mo kung paano mo palalaguin ang pera mo. And one of the biggest benefits of financial literacy is control. Sa halip na ikaw ang hinahabol ng bayarin, ikaw ang may hawak sa budget mo. Alam mo kung magkano ang dapat mong gastusin, ipunin, at i-invest. Hindi ka basta-basta nadadala sa impulsive buying o napapautang ng walang plano kung paano babayaran. And here's the thing, financial literacy isn't just about personal gain. Kapag mas maraming tao ang marunong humawak ng pera, mas nagiging stable ang society natin. Mas kakaunti ang umaasa sa government assistance at mas maraming nagiging financially independent. Imagine if more people knew how to manage their finances, less stress, less debt, and more opportunity for growth. Pero syempre hindi ibig sabihin na dahil financially literate ka, hindi ka na magkakaproblema sa pera. May mga emergency pa rin, may bigla ang gastusin, at may mga sitwasyong hindi natin kontrolado. Pero ang kaibahan, alam mo kung paano mag-adjust, maghanap ng solusyon at hindi agad natataranta kapag may financially challenges. Kaya nga mahalagang matutunan ito habang bata pa. Di ba ang hirap mag-manage ng finances pag matanda ka na at wala kang proper foundation? Mas okay kung bata pa lang, alam na natin ang mga basic ng budgeting, saving, at investing. Dahil pag dumating ang panahon na kailangan mo na talagang magdesisyon tungkol sa pera, ready ka, hindi ka nalilito, at hindi ka kinakabahan. Now, let's characterize financial literacy in the Philippines. Alam mo ba na kahit maraming Pilipino ang nag-iipon, karamihan sa kanila ay wala pang sariling bank account. O na kahit may mga financial services na available, iilan lang talaga ang nakakaintindi ng concept of investment, insurance, at risk management. Now, let's look at the financial literacy in the Philippines. According to World Bank Study 2014, estimated 20 million Filipinos were saving money, but only half had bank accounts. And according sa book na nabasa ko entitled Diary of a Pulube, written by Mr. Chinkitan, Chapter 19, Walang Bank Account Now, Pulubi Later. So pinaliwanag dito kung bakit maraming mga Pilipino ang mas pinipiling itago ang pera kaysa ipasok sa bangko. Una, to have a sense of security. Some people draw their security kapag hawak at nakikita nila ang kanilang pera. And pangalawa, to avoid inconvenience. Iniisip ng iba na hassle ang pumunta sa bangko o maghanap ng ATM. Kaya mas pinipili na lang nilang magdala ng pera. At ang panghuli, may mga taong takot sa bank run. Or ito yung mga posibilidad na magsara ang bangko, ma-scam sa ATM, o hindi na nila ma-withdraw ang kanilang pera. Pero sa kabila ng mga pangambang ito, ang paglalagay ng pera sa bangko ay isa pa rin sa pinakamadali at pinakaligtas na paraan ng pag-iipon. According to Asian Development Bank Study 2015, the Philippines did not have structured national strategy for financial education. And without a clear financial literacy program, many Filipinos lack essential financial knowledge. At ang Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas 2016 launched the National Strategy for Financial Inclusion to address the financial literacy gap. They highlighted the importance of pairing financial services expansion with financial education. They aim to improve access to banking, investment, and insurance while educating Filipinos on proper financial management. Then, Standard & Poor's Rating Survey 2016. Only 25% of Filipinos were financially literate, and about 75 million Filipino lack knowledge of key financial concepts such as inflation, compound interest, and risk management. The limited understanding of these topics affect the ability to make sound financial decision. At pagdating naman sa stock market participation, less than 1% of Filipinos were investing in stock market, even a decade after its public introduction. The lack of financial education contributes to hesitation in exploring investment opportunities. At pagdating naman sa financial planning among the working middle class, more than 80% of middle class workers do not have a formal financial plan. At karamihan sa kanila nakapokus lang sa daily expenses rather than long-term financial security. The lack of financial planning leaves many vulnerable to financial crisis and retirement insecurity. The Financial Education Stakeholder Expo 2018, organized by BSP or Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, gathering over 1,000 leaders and institutions to improve financial education. It aimed at creating a stronger network of financial literacy advocates. It encouraged collaboration between public and private sectors to strengthen financial education efforts. And we have Economic and Financial Literacy Week. It is established under Republic Act No. 10922, designating the second week of November for financial literacy awareness. It encouraged school, businesses, and government agencies to promote financial education initiatives. Pera, money, kwarta, datong. Iba-iba ang pananaw natin pagdating dito. May mga taong ayaw na ayaw ng walang nakikitang pera at may mga mahilig namang gumastos at may mga nag-iipon para sa seguridad. But did you know that there are 6 major types of how Filipinos view money according to InChart 2017? There are different ways in which we use and value our money. The first is frugal or thrifty and savings-oriented. Ito yung mga taong sobrang tipid at bibihirang bumili ng mamahaling items. Their belief is that money serves as protections against unexpected expenses. At maraming Pilipino ang ganito, especially those who have experienced financial struggle. At nakikita ko dito yung ate ko, sobrang galing niya mag-budget pagdating sa pera. Hindi naman siya kuripot pero iniisip niya lang talaga yung mga future expenses at para magkasya yung pera namin sa loob ng isang buwan. The second one is pleasure or pleasure seekers. Ito naman yung mga taong ang gastos. They use money to bring happiness to themselves and others. They are more likely to spend than to save. At ang motto nila sa buhay is you only live once. And money can buy happiness. This is common among younger Filipinos na walang alam sa financial literacy. Kahit hindi mayaman at mababa ang sahod, nagiging one-day millionaire. The third one is status-oriented. They view money as a symbol of social status. They use money to express wealth and success, and they enjoy purchasing and showing off branded or luxury items. Sila yung mga taong sa tindig pa lang alam mo nang mayaman dahil sa kanilang pananamit at mga gamit. Ito yung way nila para ipakita na marami silang pera at nakakaangat sa buhay. The fourth one is indifferent. Ito yung mga taong unconcerned about money. Hindi naman siya totaling walang pakailam sa pera. Ang kaibahan nila is kontento sila kung anong meron sila at mas gusto nila na sila ang nagtatanim ng sariling pagkain at gumagawa ng sariling damit kesa gumastos. And for them, having too much money can feel overwhelming or unnecessary. The fifth one is power-oriented. They use money as a tool for influence and control. And this perspective is often seen in business, politics, or leadership position. Kapag mapera ka, ang bango ng pangalan mo. Kapag mapera ka, malakas ang kontrol mo at kapit mo sa tao. The last one is self-worth. They view money as a measure of personal value. They value their financial success as a reflection of their self-worth. And also, they judge both themselves and others based on wealth and financial achievements. Ikaw ba? Payag ka bang ang halaga mo ay nakadepende sa pera na meron ka? Or nakadepende lang sa kinikita mo araw-araw? Tandaan natin, while money provides security, true self-worth should not be solely dependent on wealth. Now, let's enumerate practical steps to develop personal financial literacy. Una sa lahat, tanungin mo muna ang sarili mo. Anong goal mo pagdating sa pera? May tatlong klase kasi ng financial goals. Una, short-term goals. Ito yung kaya mong gawin sa loob lang ng isang linggo o buwan. Halimbawa, paglalakad para makatipid sa pamasahe at pagbaon ng pagkain para hindi ka na gumastos. And pangalawa is medium-term goals. Ito naman yung mas matagal, pero achievable siya within 6 months. And dito na papasok yung pagsisimula mo ng ipon, fund, at pagbabayad ng maliliit na utang at pag-invest. The third one is long-term goals. Ito naman yung tinatawag na pangmatagalang pangarap, like owning a house, building an emergency fund, or paghahanda para sa retirement. Kung wala kang clear financial goals, malamang wala kang direksyon sa pera mo. So, set your goals now and write them down at panindigan mo. And we have developing a spending plan. Sabi nga nila, hindi mo maaayos ang pera mo kung hindi mo alam kung saan ito napupunta. That's why it is important to develop a spending plan. At meron tayong simple yet powerful 3-step plan. The first one is record. Sulat mo ang bawat ginagastos mo kahit yung pinakamaliit. Yes, kasama yung milk tea mo every week. The second one is review. Tignan mo kung saan napunta ang pera mo. Kung mas malaki ang nagastos mo sa wants kaysa sa needs, it's time to adjust. At pangatlo, take action. I-apply ang changes sa spending habits mo. Mas kailangan mo ba mag-ipon kaysa bagong sapatos? Kung oo, unahin ang ipon. At dahil dyan, let's proceed to the importance of saving. Ang pinakamalupit na diskarte sa pera ay ang ipon. Pero bakit nga ba importante ito? Una, emergency fund. Hindi natin hawak ang future. Kapag may biglaang gastos like hospital bills or aksidente, hindi mo na kinakailangan pang mangutang kung may ipon ka. And the second one is retirement. Huwag kang umasa sa pension lang. Kailangan mo ng sariling ipon at investment para may comfortable life ka pagtanda. And the third one is future events. Like weddings, birthday, travel, lahat yan may gastos. Mas masarap gumastos kapag may nakalaan na ipon. And the fourth one is social security and stability. Huwag umasa sa gobyerno. Ang tunay na seguridad sa pera ay nasa kamay mo mismo. At ang panglima, a little goes a long way. Kahit maliit ang ipon mo, kung consistent ka, lalaki rin yan. And we have smart spending strategies. Dalawa lang paraan para makaipon. Una, save before you spend. Set aside agad ang mga savings mo bago gumastos. Kung huli mo na tong iniisip, malamang wala nang matitira. And the second one is save after spending wisely. Gumastos ng maayos at ilagay ang mga natira sa savings mo. Pero paano kung wala talagang natira? Ayan ang problema. At para manatili kang motivated sa pag-iipon, ito ang para sa'yo. Una, commit to at least 1 month. Gawin mong habits ang pag-iipon. Pangalawa, find an accountability partner. Mas madali ang pag-ipon kapag may kasama kang magtipid. At pangatlo, look for a savings role model. May kakilala ka bang magaling sa pera? Gayahin mo ang diskarte niya. At pang-apat, write your goal and track it. Hindi mo malalaman ang progress mo kung hindi mo ito sinusubaybayan. At pang-lima, avoid tempting situation. Kung gusto mong makaipon, iwasan mo ang kaibigan mong magastos at bawasan mo ang gala at online shopping. Tandaan natin, ang disiplina sa paghawak ng pera ay hindi lang tungkol sa pagtitipid. Ito ay tungkol sa pagpapahalaga sa kinabukasan mo. And before I wrap up our discussion, I want to express my gratitude to our key references, especially the book Building and Enhancing New Literacies Across the Curriculum, authored by Ellen Joy P. Plata, Master of Arts in Education, and Aigen John P. Ignacio, Master of Arts in Education, which provided essential insight into this topic. I want also to acknowledge my professor, Sir Ronnie V. Nabus, for giving me a chance to discuss the importance of financial literacy. If you're serious about taking control of your finances, I highly recommend checking out books by Chinky Tan or tuning in to his podcast, Ching Positive. As one of the most respected financial experts in the Philippines, and he shares practical advice on getting out of debt and achieving financial freedom, guidance that can truly change your lives. Financial literacy is a journey, and we're just getting started. For more updates and deeper discussion, stay tuned to Peng Podcast.